Welcome to a brand new season of the TAUK Peer-to-Peer podcast. And this season, we've changed things up a little. I'm here as your new host. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Steph, one of the co-founders of TAUK, long-time industry lover, estate agent of many years, and truth teller. And hopefully we'll really dig under the skin of what makes personal estate agency so great. This season is called Freedom with Foundations. You're going to hear me mention hyperlocal even more than I normally do. We're going to talk about the duality of brand. But most importantly, we're going to hear from estate agents, probably just like you guys who are listening and watching, but who are maybe a couple of steps ahead. So if you are considering going down the personal estate agency route, this is going to be gold dust. Take this like a voice note from somebody several steps ahead. If you're 3 months in or 3 years in and just need a little bit of inspiration, take each and every one of these episodes as the opportunity to restart, reset, and go again. But I'm your new captain. Hopefully we'll hear a load of honesty, some humour, the occasional swear words, and hopefully this season is going to be bigger, funnier, sassier and sharper than ever before, because personal estate agency deserves a personal voice. Welcome to season 3. Let's get into it. Welcome to episode 7 of season 3 of the TAUK Peer-to-Peer podcast. Today, we're going to talk cash flow, commission, and courage. And I'm joined by Tim, who has very successfully used our advanced commission program. Can't wait to hear from him today. And also joined by Jane, who wasn't lucky enough to have advanced commission as an option when she joined. But here's a little secret about Jane, or maybe it's not so much of a secret. Guess where you can find her at a TAUK party? Either the bar or the dance floor, preferably both at the same time. But yeah, really looking forward to getting into the detail. I think the biggest worry that every agent has starting this journey is money and cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
I mean, I think as an agent, as soon as you start out in the industry, you want your own gig, you want your own business. And fundamentally, the reason that stops most people is cash flow, it's money. So I think, in that sense, the advanced commission through TAUK is what basically opens the gate for people who didn't think they could do it.
Yeah, definitely. I know when I first joined, or when I was even thinking about joining, I think I spoke to you, possibly even, was it about 8 and 9 months, maybe even before?
It was 7, but yeah.
It was a long time anyway. And that was the first hurdle. It was like, but not only do you have that inner thing saying, can I do it? Can I do it? You get over that. You think, well, I can, but oh my goodness, what do we do for 6 months? Like, we all know the reality, don't we, of estate agency. Yes, you put a house on. Yes, you'll sell it, but that money doesn't come in straight away.
Yeah.
And that's that fear, isn't it, of, oh my goodness, what will I do? What can I do? And I think, the way that TAUK has revolutionised that thought process now for other agents, I think is absolutely amazing.
So is it now more of a, how do I just bridge the gap rather than, am I going to get paid at all? Did you ever think it just won't work?
If I'm being really honest, yeah, that part of a fear was probably there, because I think we all have our own little inner demons where we go, oh my God, can I honestly do this? Can I? But then when you think, well, no, of course, I've been doing this 20 years. Of course I can do it. That's just a ridiculous thing. But that money aspect, especially, I've got 2 kids. You've got a mortgage. You've got a good gig where you're earning decent money.
Yep.
You can do more, and you can be your own boss. I mean, that's the pull. But then actually paying those bills is super important.
Yeah. So, Tim, was advanced commission one of the main reasons that led you to this journey, or TAUK?
I think it was the massively helped the decision to go, yes, that's what I want. It wasn't the be all and end all, don't get me wrong. It was very much the brand. It was very much how it was, how you were going to be supported. But ultimately, without the advanced commission, that would have probably meant I'd have possibly stayed put that little bit longer where I was to try and build a bit more of a nest egg before I took the leap. But I think it was definitely something that it was a big draw, and I think it still will be a lot of draw, for most people that are wanting to do this as a living now.
So how did it help you in those early days?
Well, slightly differently to what I sort of set out it to be, because I much the same, have family. I had my wife was just about to go on to maternity, so we were in a bit of a squeaky pants moment where we thought, well, it kind of has to work. So it was kind of always going to be a safety net where I could have something that if I needed it, I could draw it in, I could pay bills with it, I could do what I wanted with it. But it kind of blended in between a bit of that, but also it was used to invest in my marketing. Slightly naively, I'd not necessarily factored in what that level of cost might look like. And I think for me, it was making sure that I had enough money to be able to pay the bills, but then I could still draw down more if I wanted to, and I could use that to invest and improve and develop the marketing that I had that was only going to then help me get bigger or get better known or get noticed more.
There's a direct correlation between those that use advanced commission and those that become successful more quickly, but also those that use advanced commission and then are able to reinvest in marketing to see how much more quickly they grow their pipelines is astronomical. And that is quite abundant, because you are now 50 months in and you're off advanced commission.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of had a goal where I'd be like, well, I've got the first 12 months where I can use it. But then I hit a step where I thought, well, actually, I don't need to. I don't want that sort of, I want to be able to support myself. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to come off it at some point. You've got to whittle yourself away from it. So it was sort of, month 4 and 5 where I was kind of starting to get completions coming through. I thought, well, actually, I don't need to draw as much, or if I did need to, it was only on the odd occasion that I needed to do it. Brilliant. And it was, it just, you managed it better, and it kind of, it helped you phase into the business, but it also was quite easy to phase into the normal kind of setup.
I would have assumed as well, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's probably a correlation between fee achieved as well, if you've got an upfront commission to not. Because I know when I started, my fees were horrendous. This is not new news to anybody. My fees were huge, absolutely appalling. But that was because I felt like I had to list something. I had to get paid on something. I needed that house. So I went in at a low fee because I needed it to go through to completion. So there was this battle to try and make sure I listed that house because I needed to sell it and I needed that money to come through. Had I not had that over the top of me and that fear of, well, actually, I can push for a bit more on fee. If I push a bit more for it, then that'll work out better for me in the long run. There wouldn't have been that to and fro in between that. And I think there probably is a really big correlation there.
You absolutely can see that. And I think scarcity mindset is to next week, not in 6 months' time. So you can chance a bit more. You can be stronger on your pricing. You can ask for a better fee that is level to what you're worth. Might sound like a strange question, Tim, but have you ever judged yourself for using it? Because I think that might be a bit of an ego play.
Do you know, at the start, and it was strange, when people start talking about advanced commission and you think it's almost like you're getting your pocket money and you're like, can I have my pocket money this week to go and spend on whatever? And effectively it was you started viewing it as it was a partnership. It was a business that was investing in me to go, do you know what? We believe that you can do it. We want you to do it. And rather than just give it a bit of a go at the start and then 4 or 5 months into it, go back into a normal job or, get a second job or anything, it just gave me that kind of ability. So you then started organically being a bit more vocal about it and not being too precious about it, because it's money, isn't it? No one really likes talking about money. And I think it's one of those things where you think, well, I'm the breadwinner and we had a wife on maternity. So it was kind of almost a bit of a, not like you say, it wasn't a negative thing, but it was just one of those things you didn't feel like you wanted to feel the connotations with someone giving you money, basically. But it wasn't like that. It was very much a business proposition,
isn't it? It's your money. You're just getting it sooner.
Well, that's true. To be fair,
and that's how you should look at it to anybody. Is that it's still your money. Always going to be your money. You're just getting it a little bit earlier, which is wonderful.
Very true. Yeah.
And I think, and possibly something that maybe we don't talk about often enough, but for me, advanced commission has been the ability to unlock attracting talent rather than just having to take anybody. Because there is, within a brokerage style setup, you need a critical mass, because you'd like to pay yourself at some point when you launch these sorts of businesses and all those sorts of things.
Silly. Why would you need that?
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose we got to the point where we had a bit of a decision to make. We either come up with something that would allow us to unlock this opportunity for more people who aren't yet considering it, or we have to take any old, dog with a heartbeat and a disto that could go out and put a house on the market. And I think that's something that sets TAUK apart. We don't just accept anybody. It is a gathering of like-minded individuals who want to do things properly, and perhaps I should shout about that a little bit more.
But I think that actually it's not just the money. The money is an absolute wonderful thing, but actually knowing that you join in a company who is investing that in you, I think says so much about the business on the whole anyway. Yes, it's an absolutely wonderful thing for the actual, the person getting that advance commission, but imagine joining a company that is so willing to do that for the best people.
And I think, all along, that's why we're business partners. You two are my business partners, and I've never seen it in any other way. I think it's important.
Very.
Yeah. I think attracting the right people, you've got people that are branch manager salaries, area manager salaries, those types of things. And they're probably the right people for the job because they've got a blend of experience, but they've also got that sort of, they know everything they need to know about agency, so they can fulfill being a personal agent well. But it's that step, as it is with everyone, it's that step from the comfort blanket to not having the comfort blanket. But that's what the advance commission is. It's a bit of a comfort blanket when you need it, really.
Definitely.
And with my new favourite phrase is quality creates scale. You can hear a lot of that from me. But I think the more quality people we attract, the more quality people we attract. And then people being able to use advance commission to level up on their marketing, and then we attract more quality homes and people with great homes that want to then sell through. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And as well, if you've got someone who joins close to where you operate and they start to do really well, then organically that helps you as well. It's brand awareness, it's board awareness, it's people understand TAUK. And I mean, like I say, 15 months in, and a lot of people now in my location, because I've got partner agents that work in sort of close proximity, it's so much easier to grow as well in that sense, that you've got people who are starting to do decent volumes and decent numbers, and it helps you because people already know you.
Yeah. The old boards breed boards, isn't it? Yeah. Never
Very
gets a bit
corporate,
dull.
that's a very corporate
It's
saying.
very corporate.
Absolutely.
Very, very corporate.
So as one of the sort of, I suppose, OGs, Jane,
Yep.
are you a bit jealous? Do you think people have got it easy?
No, I wouldn't say easy, because you've still got to get the houses on to start with. So it doesn't make it easier to list or easier to actually, plan your business, or that part of it is still identical. But yeah, I really wish this was around, because that first 6 months is, make no bones about it, it is hard, it's tough. Luckily, I had a family who could help me out a little bit, and I had a little bit of money set aside, but literally praying for that first completion to come through, it's a big deal. And I so wish it was around when I first joined, because it was really hard that first 6 months.
I think as well, it helps with your mental headspace as well, I think.
Totally.
I think, you get to that stage 6 months on where you've really grafted, you're doing all sorts of hours, and, you need that sort of financial comfort effectively. So it just means it relieves that little bit of pressure on you, which also, I suppose, then organically self-helps, because it gives you that mind space where you can go back on it, and you can kind of give yourself a bit more sort of energy from doing it.
Definitely. I just think we juggle so much in our head anyway in our job. Just to take one little thing out of your head that you're not worried about money is brilliant, isn't it? And, and we all know finance is probably one of the biggest stresses that we have, especially in the world that we live in at the moment. And to have that taken off you is it's huge. It's absolutely huge. So wish it was around.
Look, money is emotional, fear is emotional, self-employment is emotional. And I suppose getting to that point of confidence in your cash flow. Look, it's just a whole different skill set that most people come into this haven't had to have, right? Because you're used to just getting paid that amount every month and away we go. So is there anything from that sort of money angle, if somebody was listening to this today, about to take the leap of faith, give them some tips and tricks?
I would say don't fall into the trap of drawing as much money out of your business as you can. Just leave as much there. Think about the future. I'm sure we've both had I have in this past 4 years, properties that you knew were going to complete, you were praying they were going to complete, you had that money earmarked for something, and a fall through when you're self-employed compared to a fall through when you're employed is a whole different ball game, because you said all those emotions that are linked with not only the sale element of it, but then the monetary element of it as well. So don't fall into the trap of, well, I've earned that money, I'm just going to go out and buy something that I wouldn't normally buy. You've really got to look after your money in that first couple of years, because otherwise, you will have times when you've got a $7,000 fee, $6,000 fee coming in, you've got it earmarked for something and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's a low point. Not going to make any bones of it. It is a low point.
Yeah.
I think there's, I would say between months 6 and 12, as those completions start to come in, you start to move out of the feast and famine cycle.
Yeah.
If you're still knocking doors, that is. How do you emotionally detach from feast and famine though?
I guess it's setting. Well, you're kind of starting to forward plan a bit. Then you're taking a bit of comfort that your cash flow is improving. You've got that kind of comfort, and you can still use elements of that if you need to. But you've also got to get that mindset where you have to sort of remove yourself from that sort of that pocket money stage and give yourself that sort of, well, okay, this is a business now. This is my own business. This is my own livelihood. What are the 6, 9, 12 months going to look like? How can I influence that? And you kind of switch a little bit around from, managing the sort of, yes, I've got some money coming through, but if I didn't have that advance at the very start, how would I have supported myself? I needed that nest egg. So you kind of organically create a mindset where your nest egg's then building, and you kind of, you get into your routine, much the same as your salaried employer. You're like, okay, well, how much do I need each month? Right, I need that. And you pay yourself your salary. You are an employed person within your own company. Yeah. So it's then you've got that behind the scenes, that sort of nest that's building for rainy days, for completions that don't come through, and also investing back into the business and doing things that you maybe want to try that you couldn't afford to try at the start.
And I suppose, to that point, employers will tell employees that paycheck is stability, but actually what you're describing there is building your own stability.
Yeah.
But it's a scary mindset to think about.
It is, definitely. Like I said, it's more about planning then at that stage. So it's not a, woohoo, look at all this money, yay! But it's a, woohoo, look at all this money, right, let's plan what I'm doing with it, rather than, going out and buying, a flash car or whatever.
Yeah. I think it's that self-employed mindset. And that's one of the things that, you don't always know until you're doing it. No. And I think, when you start doing the job, you educate yourself over that time. And you do have those fall throughs that happen, and you think, shit, right, if that happens again, what happens if I've got 3 completions before Christmas? What happens if they go into January? And how am I going to, so you kind of learn on the job effectively. Yeah. But it's, it's just being a bit more sort of structured with how you manage it, and not blowing it all on a nice holiday somewhere or anything. I mean,
still have the holidays.
Still have
the holidays. And also the big win when you get that big commission check. What's that feel like?
It's weird. It's I was saying this only traveling. Is you get a bit imposter. You're like, that's like, if you get a really good month, you just like, it's like the tap's on. And like, surely there's got to be only a limit that I can get, and that limit is, and you think, oh, there's another one, and you think, right, okay, this is, but it's very odd, and it is, it's a nice ego boost as well, because you've worked hard for it, and you've got the reward for all of the work you've gone through with those clients. But it's it's a strange feeling to think that you are taking more than you ever thought you could take from a single month. Yeah. And it's for me, it was, at least it was just,
We've all sat there, haven't we, when we were in branches, and watched, I'm going to show my age now, watched the checks that used to come in to branch before bank transfer.
That's a reference,
It is, isn't it? But they used to come in, and that was where my self-employed journey started many years ago now. But we used to see the checks, and you'd be like, oh, imagine if that came to me. Next check, oh gosh, $5,000. Imagine if that came to me. And it does.
It does.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So If you were a new agent launching your business today, what's the first thing you'd do to go out and get business?
Go on. First of all, do everything that you're told to do that works with other people. Make sure you speak to other people. Don't just think it's a load of rubbish. I'm not doing that. I don't need to do that. Listen to the people who know what they're talking about. Listen to the people who've walked the walk.
Yep.
And you're not being told what to do. You'll never be told this is what you have to do. But my God, learn from the people who have walked before you, because it works.
Take a bit of humble pie and just go, you know what? I've not done this before.
Exactly.
I've done agency before, but I've not done this setup before.
Exactly.
You know, and to be fair, when you get in agency, you're at a level where most of the stuff that you did for business generation wasn't actually done by you. It was done by junior negs or whoever it was that you were working with. And, you know, rarely do you see, you know, a value or a branch manager prospecting or doing anything like that. So it's, you know, you are a bit removed from it. So you've got to kind of take that humble pie and go, actually, okay, I am a negotiator again. I am this type of person, but it's in a different industry. It's in a different setup, and everything matters more now as well. So you've just got to learn from people that have either done it a long time and, you know, put your own spin on it, of course, but
yeah. And some things will work for you. Some things might not work as well, but you'll find in your area, if you do everything that you've been told will help you, some of it will fall into place for you. And then you'll find what works best for you, and then you're away.
I think it's almost, you want to try and prove them wrong that you know better, but then you actually soon realise that you don't, and that blueprint does work, and you then go, okay, maybe I was wrong, and now I've got a tangible business and a tangible traction that maybe I wouldn't have had if I hadn't followed it.
Yeah.
Guys, you've been brilliant, and thank you for being my business partners. And if there's anything you can take from this episode, it is that we are your business partners. Learn from every agent that has come before you. You can avoid some of the missteps they made. Utilise advanced commission. We are here to give you that freedom, but with foundations to build a super successful business. This is the home of Personal Estate Agency, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.